YouTube. Well, it's Friday afternoon. The kiln is empty. I'm done planing the wood that I had in there, and I'm so glad that that job is over with. So now I want to clean this mess up here. I'm going to split this stuff and throw it in a kindling box. But, oh boy, I'm beat. But, most of this is pine. Pine is good for starting a fire, and if it's dry enough, you can use it to get a good fire going. Or just burn it. But it's sappy. Very sappy. So, anyway, the stuff that's on the backhoe has to be stacked. That's all red oak in there now. And that red oak, I have to say, came out really nice. Right now I'm too tired to stand and cut this. You know, I was in eating lunch before, and I had the news on. I think that, and I don't know the circumstances for everybody, but I think that anybody who puts on a pair of flip-flops and a backpack and drags their kids 1,500 miles from South America all the way up to the land of the home of the brave and the free, or used to be, deserves a good kick in the backside, if you ask me. I mean, that's pretty stupid. Unless they're really leaving something that's unbelievable. But the thing is they all look to me like they got nice clothing, and they all certainly have a cell phone. I mean, who pays for that? Or do they have free cell phones in the dictatorships of the world? Because I guess maybe it is free because they tell you what you can and cannot say. Just sounds crazy to me to do that, to walk that distance they claim. I don't think they're walking it. I think they're getting bus rides. Somebody's paying for something. They don't know whose kids are what. It's just unbelievable. By the time winter comes around, this stuff will be dry enough to be able to start fires in my garage in the morning when I go to get the dog. Last year, the stuff that I had put in there, and then during the what I usually do is I'll fill this bin here, this crate, and then I'll put a big pile of wood next to the stove in my garage, next to the coal stove. And by the time winter comes around, it's dry enough to really start a good fire. So that's what I'm working on today, or right now I should say. I gotta tell you that if you're thinking about getting a sawmill, make sure you understand that it's all work. There's not much to it that's not work. Getting rid of the you know, I don't know if you could exactly call it trash, but getting rid of the stuff that you don't want for boards is work. Getting the boards cut is work. And getting the trees here to begin with is a lot of work. And if you don't have some kind of hydraulics to help you move stuff, unless you're going to work with, I guess a lot of guys use a trailer and a winch to pull logs onto to get logs moved to their location. That sounds okay. But for me, I just like using the backhoe. Yesterday afternoon when we came back from shopping, my neighbor had stopped me for a second and was showing me that, you know, red oak he wanted out of there. And the nice thing about that is that, you know, it's not that far away. It's about a mile from here, actually. So I just take the backhoe down. A lot of guys seem to think that that's foolish, and to me it makes life all easy, because when you use the backhoe to go down and get stuff, you have what you need to move something that's heavy. It doesn't matter you know what it is. Like when you cut the log, he originally had the log cut, or the tree cut, and laying about, I don't know, 15 feet off the edge of the road. Well, you know, 15 feet to move a log may not seem like a lot until you're starting to move it. That red oak is very heavy, and the log itself, let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 8-footers, so 48 foot long. You know, it's not something that's easily rolled over with the cant hook. So having the backhoe just makes a lot of sense. Or at least a loader that you can manipulate pretty well. I know a lot of guys have the smaller John Deeres and the different tractors, and I'm sure they all work nice. I mean, if it can pick up a half a ton or even a ton, that's way better than not having anything. So, yeah, besides the, you know, the lifting part of stuff, and that's why you have to have something. I want to get this crane done here as soon as I get some of this stuff cleaned up. But every time I turn around, somebody's giving me more work. Helping that neighbor clean up down there with those trees, even though I got some nice trees out of that, some nice logs. That's 2 weeks out of my summer, and you know the problem with this is when you have when your summer is only 6 months long, you need every week you can get your hands on, especially if you have a lot of rain. We haven't even begun to plant anything yet. And Sally was bugging me about that this morning. She wants to get some stuff planted. Normally I have lettuce 2 inches high by now. I haven't even started. I also have to split the firewood logs that I have, or the firewood that I brought over a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago I guess. Gotta split that yet, so it dries good. That pine is sappy because it hasn't dried at all. That tree was only cut down about a month ago, and then I was cutting some 2x4s out of them. I wanted to see how nice the wood was, and it was pretty nice. I want to continue with that as well. Some of this stuff, now this is pine here, but some of those pieces I just cut up were maple. Maple burns good, and it's supposed to dry fast. So right now, what's on the agenda for the next couple of weeks, I want to get this cleaned up. I should be able to do this today. Clean all this up. I have some of those great big wide maple log boards over there, 18 inches. I think I'm going to cut them down because they're all twisted up. I think I'm going to cut them down and make some garden boxes out of them, because I need to plant some potatoes and I need a new place to plant them, because they tell you shouldn't plant potatoes in the same spot 2 years in a row. So once I have another couple of potato boxes ready, I can alternate planting them every year. And hopefully that'll work out. So anyway, on the agenda, like I say, is get this cleaned up, stack that red oak in the greenhouse in its final resting place until I sell it. And then I want to get my neighbor's thing taken care of, his red oak cut up. I gotta talk to him. I was thinking about what he said to me yesterday, and I don't remember if he told me that his wife wanted landscaping ties or if somebody else told me that. Somebody told me that. This is maple, and this maple has already dried. You could tell from the dust, the sawdust that I cut there and everything from the planer, how dry everything is that came out of the kiln. It was actually in there a lot longer than I would have normally left it in because of the rain we had last fall. Even though some of this kindling is a little bit big, by the time summer's over, it'll be dry enough that I can easily split it in the garage again with the hatchet the day I go in there to build the fire. I hate cutting these boards with a chainsaw. It's a lot easier to cut logs with a chainsaw than it is cutting boards. This white oak is unbelievably hard to cut, even split. Even a little piece like that that's white oak is just, and that white oak is dry. This is pine here, but this came out of the kiln, so it's really dry. Well, I don't have it all picked up, but it's pretty much cut up. I gotta get this taken care of yet. The bucket's already full, and I can't put any more in there until I get it emptied out. I want to work on that a little bit later. I'm had it for today. It's around 6, I guess. 5, 6 o'clock, I don't know. Got some really nice oak boards there today. You can tell just by the way the ends are sitting there how nice they are. 1 or 2 splits. Where's that split? Somewhere in there. Nice boards though. Well worth the effort.